If we send a hydrogen bomb in space, how long would it take for it to fade away if it exploded in space?
I don't know about hydrogen bombs, so I don't know.
Atomic bomb. You big bad.
Oh my god. It would just continuously explode. What are you talking about?
It wouldn't fade away.
Um, I mean, it would technically, but technically not, because when stars explode, all their matter just goes outward forever. It's the same thing.
Does that same rule apply to planets? That all their matter just goes outward forever? Does it?
Yes, because eventually the universe is gonna be into full entropy, where there's eventually life is gonna stop existing, obviously, because it takes energy to live.
I mean, but energy can't be destroyed, correct? So wouldn't there be continuous life?
No, what are you talking about?
Energy cannot be destroyed.
That is correct. But eventually, you need enough energy to create life. What happens when all the stars explode?
That won't happen because well, you know when like what is it? Which one explodes and then turns into like a whole nother solar system? I forget which one it is. Some sort of astronomical thing, but I don't know what it is.
So, the Big Bang created all of the stars. There are no new stars created. There are stars that die and become like mini stars, but those
There
aren't
are
like real
stars
things.
that blow up and create a whole nother solar system, though, if I'm not mistaken.
That what?
Create a whole nother solar system, like it's either like a supernova or something like that. I don't know.
That's a big explosion. You know that, right?
I don't know.
That's a giant star blowing up, and then there's space dust. There's only so much energy.
If the shock wave of a supernova is injected, has material injected from the exploding star into a solar nebula, then it can make a new solar system. Or at least that's basically what it says. I had to read it though. It was a theory for a while, but like it is possible for it to happen. Though it's very, very specific
In solar system, do you mean it creates another, like, a star?
A central star with planets revolving around it.
And that would take billions of years to form, but that is possible. Just because it's a planet doesn't mean that's life.
Water makes life, though, right?
Yes.
So if a planet has water,
it helps create it. It also needs light,
yep, which is the central star.
and eventually that's going to go away.
Yep, and then it can all happen again.
How is that possible?
I mean, the idea of there never being life anymore is kind of out there. I don't think that's possible to where it's absolutely no life whatsoever. I don't think that's possible.
That's the thing. That's what's going to happen.
So then...
If there is no... Yeah. That's going to happen.
So then what is the galaxy then? It's just, what is it? Nothing? Because there would have to be something there, obviously. And it can also make life.
We live in that galaxy. The Milky Way.
Yeah. And then if there's no life there whatsoever, you really think that's the thing? There would be all dead stars and all dead planets. Nothing else.
That's the thing, yes. There are spaces in the universe that has no life.
And we've discovered this?
Yes, we've discovered this.
How do you discover something in a whole nother galaxy if you've never been to it?
And Hubble telescopes.
And a Hubble telescope can see all the way to another galaxy.
Listen, I don't feel like arguing this. Just look it up.
I feel like that's ridiculous, but hey.
Just look it up.
Other galaxies, Andromeda galaxies, baby galaxies.
Yeah, no, there's a space where there's no galaxies. Why is that so hard to believe?
Because where is the proof, fam?
Because there's nothing there. If you don't see anything, there isn't anything.
I can look up into the sky and not see a star. Doesn't mean that a star isn't there, my friend.
That's exactly what it means. Or the light's too bright so where you can't see the stars. That's probably what it means, the light pollution. It's around you so you can't see any stars. Or there's clouds in the way.
I don't think just not being able to see something means that nothing is there.
There was other proof, I forget what it's called though. Like there's no energy coming from that place. Because each galaxy is giving out energy.
And you need energy to make life, right?
Yes.
So if a galaxy has energy, it can still make life.
It needs a lot of energy.
It's a galaxy though, so of course it has a lot of energy.
Okay.
I mean, as big as a galaxy is, dude, like the collective amount of energy within the galaxy can obviously make life.
You're gonna have your opinions and beliefs.
Not really if you're reducing my opinions to nonsense.
I'm not gonna talk about this anymore.
If you set off a nuke in the low atmosphere of Earth, it'd be like an EMP. It's like a giant EMP, and that would affect the whole world. Set it off in deep space, you'll just get a the energy release, and that's it.
Yeah.
Why don't we just send our trash out into space?
Because it would take a lot of
I feel like that would just damage the atmosphere more. Because
it
we're
would
sending
take
it
a lot
through
of
it.
resources to do that. To send all of it, that would take a lot of resources.
But in the long run, it'll help the Earth.
Maybe in the far future, we're able to invent a freaking trash chute that goes to space or some shit.
You see that? An enemy tank.
Probably some sort of incinerator.
Oh.
Just imagine all the trash you're throwing in your trash can, just freaking going into space. Your trash can or something into space.
Have to
We
be
sent
really,
a
really
huge
far out.
garbage ball into space. And then it came back. It whipped around the sun and came back and killed us.
This one's
Karma.
goes out of its fully places. It's gonna come back and hit us. It's like it's cool or something.
Oh! Oh! Oh. I can't do. How long do you think it'll take the effect of an atomic bomb in space to fade away? All smoke and stuff.
You mean to where it's like not like it couldn't affect someone?
Yeah.
I don't think it would take that long actually, because it would be fast. Explosion's fast.
Is it not gonna get pulled into another planet's, like, by its gravitational pull or anything, or is it just gonna just float there? Because how would it fade away if it's just like in an empty space, I guess?
I'm trying to explain this. So, if you get a bomb, if you get bombed by a nuke, you get 100% of the radiation, right? Basically. And if you get nuked a couple miles away, it's a lot less. So it has a lot more space to cover. It doesn't have infinite radiation. It's just a certain amount of energy, radiation that's going everywhere.
I feel like it wouldn't. I mean, it's going everywhere, but like, does it actually just disappear? Does it just?
No, it just becomes so small, it's insignificant. Because it has so much space to cover. It's kind of like water. Imagine a water explosion. The particles will get so small.
You said you'll think it'll fade away quickly.
Yeah. If it keeps the same speed as the initial explosion. Which it should.
Depends on where it is, I guess.
I mean, I'm talking about like for it to. It's not affected by Earth's atmosphere or anything. It's just floating.
So just out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I wonder how it would travel. There's nowhere for it to go. Interesting. A 100,000 galaxies with no obvious signs of life.
It's just that, right? I guess.
You know, white dwarfs, they can live up to like trillions and trillions of years.
Yeah.
Then they'll turn into black dwarfs.
Yes.
And
Theoretically.
then they'll turn into a solid block of iron.
Is that true? I haven't heard that one.
I think.
I'm not sure if you're messing with me.
I think it's a theory.
Because I know the black dwarf is a theory. I've heard of that one. I don't know about the turning into iron thing.
I was watching this thing. And it was showing like all the stars disappearing, and then eventually they'll all become black dwarfs, and there won't be any light in the universe. There'll just be black dwarfs and black holes, and then they'll turn to blocks of iron, and that's basically it. It's just black holes now.
I guess that makes sense, because there's so much pressure in the middle of the sun that it will create iron.
It creates heavy elements when it gets bigger and stuff.
Yeah.
What if that's how like interdimensional beings farm? They farm universes, they collect iron and
So, I'd like to believe in aliens, but there's just like no proof. Or so my logic is there has been trillions of years of other stuff before us and trillions of years after. There isn't going to be a time machine that would affect us now, because why wouldn't have came back already? And if aliens were already to talk to us, why haven't they? They're already too smart for us.
Well, it's kind of hard to know if someone ever did. It just didn't directly. Like, you don't know if they changed our timeline because our timeline is happening. You wouldn't notice it changed because it would be a whole nother timeline, basically.
If they were really far away, and you look at the Earth now, you'll probably see like Earth in its early stages or something.
Yeah, just like volcanoes everywhere.
Because the light hasn't caught up to their time, so they probably don't see us right now.
Well, at the same time, how would you go back in time so far back? You know what I mean? Like, how would you know what time to go back to?
I wasn't talking about time. I was just talking about the light difference.
No.
The visual difference. Freaking nose won't stop flipping.
The crazy thing is that time is like just a made up thing. Like, it's not. It's like existent but not existent, basically. That makes sense.
What the freak is inside a black hole? The biggest mystery. Because once you find out, you can't go back.
So you don't think time is real?
I think it's like a man-made thing, basically. Like, if before we started calling it time, it wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? It's like reading.
Is it everything?
Before we started making it a thing, it wasn't actually a thing.
So, what about that thing where you send a clock into space and it comes back a different time?
Doesn't it work off of electromagnetic, like the ground itself, the electromagnetic field? Isn't that how that
I
works?
don't know.
So with other planets, if it encounters another planet, I guess it would change, would it not? Unless they don't have that.
It's simple. The faster you go, the slower you go through time.
Do you think there's anything faster than light?
Possibly. Well, we don't know. Because how could we see it if it's faster?
Exactly.
Or how do we know?
What if juice was faster?
What if what?
Juice? Like orange juice?
Like OJ? Like OJ Simpson?
Exactly.
Is that where you were going?
No, but it made sense.
How does that make sense?
Because he's a football player.
Uh-huh.
And he goes fast.
Does he?
I
What
mean,
was he, a running back? I forgot.
it's like saying is Flash faster than, well, even though he's not real, but Flash is faster than like the speed of light or whatever, you know?
Yes.
Trying to compare the two. He can go faster than the speed of light, yes. Him and I think Quicksilver have both surpassed that, but Flash has gone way beyond that.
That's stupid.
Yep. It is.
He shouldn't die then.
He has a super fast
That's
healing
very
factor as well.
unrealistic, though. That couldn't happen in real life.
Nope. No, it couldn't. Because your body couldn't handle it. Maybe
Can
it's
he
someone
run on
else's
nothing?
body, but we don't know of those organisms.
Can he run on nothing? Like, can he jump and just run straight in the air?
And he can run around the world and like freaking. I don't know. I mean, like probably if he ever hits anything at all when he's running, probably could run on nothing. Because if he ran on the ground, wouldn't he like shred it going that fast? He probably can
So
run.
flying light speed is impossible, basically. Because if you hit a speck of dust, you're dead.
Is it dead? Or are you dead or is it dead? You know what I mean? Going that fast.
I was thinking he might run on the atoms or something.
How would that make sense?
I don't know. He could just jump in the air and run on nothing.
He's running on the air. Is that what you're saying?
He's running on the particles.
I mean, it's like how does those lizards run on water? You know, like it's a liquid, yeah, but like it's running on the particles within the water.
It has web feet and it traps air between its toes.
That's true.
I only know that because of Wildcrats. Or Wildcrats. The Wildcrat. My nose.
You could stand on water if you have the right shoes.
The bubble shoes. I want some.
Salvia? What?
No. I want some of those socks that doesn't get wet. Some waterproof socks.
But with the time thing and like throwing a clock into space and it changing time, that reminds me of like, what if we threw a compass out in space? Would it change direction such, or would it just spin infinitely?
I don't think it'll spin, but it wouldn't have any direction to it. If you know
What if we put it on another planet?
Then they'll probably have direction. If it had like a North Pole and a South Pole.
I wonder what would happen if we put it, like, I guess inside of a gassy planet.
They'll probably still have it.
It's
As long as
crazy.
they have a gravity and electromagnetic field, they'll probably have it.
If planets are spheres, how are their directions, you know? I thought that was all. I just found that to be weird. If it's a sphere,
360 degrees. Or 3D, whatever.
What do you mean directions?
like, how can you have, like, how do you know the difference between north and south or whatever when it's a sphere?
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Because there's a point in space. There's no other point in space that represents that spot other than that one spot.
Maybe aliens come to Earth and they look at our globe and they say you have it the wrong way, and they flip it over, and that's how it looks.
Earth spins on its axis sideways.
I don't know about that.
Apparently. I don't know. I remember reading about that in school. What if it didn't? What if it spins straight up instead of sideways? Change all the seasons. Change a whole lot of shit. A lot of things.
If it's fun, you mean like Uranus?
I guess
That's how it
whichever.
is. Then one side of the planet will have sun, and the other side will not have sun.
But it's spinning, is it not? Is it not always spinning?
Barely.
So eventually the other side would get sun, wouldn't it not? Or if there
Barely.
is a side, but hey.
Like it takes 100 years to spin, so might as well not be spinning.
Rarely.
I. It could be like the Uranus is going around the sun so slowly and turning so slowly at the same time that technically it would never reach the other side.
I found
What do
that to
you
be,
mean other
if it's
side?
spinning, it has to hit it eventually, does it not? Unless, I guess the
But
star will
it's
die
going around the sun, right?
before.
It's going around the sun clockwise.
Yeah.
And if it's also turning clockwise at the perfect time, then it would never reach
Oh,
the other side.
I see what you're saying.
Nah, I don't
That
get it.
might be true. That might not be true. He's saying like one side of the Uranus is always going to be on the sun because it spins very slowly. And its orbit around the sun is very slow.
So,
So basically saying it's the same spot.
and it'll never reach the other
They
side.
probably do it slowly, like extremely slowly.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was like, how does it never? I thought that was weird. The Black Eye Galaxy. The Sombrero Galaxy. The large Malik. I don't know how to say it. There's a small one, there's a large one.
I think the name of our black hole in the Milky Way is Sagittarius A or something like that.
Isn't there like a really small star? Like right by the sun? Like Draconus,
What are you
something like
talking
that.
about? The sun is the sun. What are you talking about?
No, there's another one though, by the sun I think. Or is it a planet? I'm not sure which one it is.
By our sun?
Apparently, it might not be a star then.
The
I'm trying to
Mercury?
look it up.
Our sun is the only star in our solar system.
And it's not a
Mars?
star. I don't know what it's called then.
A comet?
Mercury?
It's not Mercury, it's not a planet.
Your imagination.
It's not
A
my
meteor.
imagination, because we learned about this.
An asteroid.
What's not imagination? Star being next to the sun?
I just
pebble.
corrected myself, fam. But okay.
Then what are you
Pebble.
saying?
I'm trying to find out what it's called.
A grain of sand. What if that was a planet? A grain of sand.
That would be so sad.
And there's a civilization.
Have you seen Futurama?
I glanced at it. I didn't really watch it.
Well, there's this episode where Bender gets shot out into space, into random nothingness, and a billion years later, like life forms on his body. And so, like a whole civilization forms on his body. It's pretty funny.
Wow.
I think I've seen that. I didn't see the whole episode though. But he was
And
like
he's
a god,
he's
basically.
yeah, he's a god, and like whenever he wanted to like do something right, he killed like 10 people
Yeah, I remember that.
by accident.
I thought that was cool. I liked the episode. It was funny, but I liked the episode itself.
And then like he met God, quote unquote God, like in the episode, and it was like, if you intervene too much, then they'll depend on you. But if you don't intervene at all, then they won't believe in you, whatever. So you just gotta do it just right, just the right amount.
I guess when the whole world needs you. For the majority. Do it for the majority.
What do you think religious people will think of if aliens do exist?
I don't know if religious people don't think any aliens at all exist.
I mean, in the
Some
scripture,
scientists are
it basically
Christians.
says, like, humans are made in God, right? Let's look like God. So technically, there is no other life.
Maybe they just don't worry about the other life. Why would they? I don't know. They probably just don't consider it because right now it's insignificant. It's obsolete because no one knows it exists. But there's an idea that it does, though. It's potential. Maybe someone does know it exists, and we don't know about it.
I think if people did know about it, it would be chaos. I think. It's just my opinion.
Out of fear?
Yeah. It'd be like everyone in the world would have an existential crisis, basically. And that's not good.
I guess the important people. I wouldn't care. I mean, that's cool that there's other life. I like that.
It'd be like, what you're doing doesn't matter anymore.
Did it ever really matter? I mean, we're just gonna die anyway.
I mean, that's what some people believe.
Yeah. Isn't there a star in the center of the galaxy? A really big fucking star that makes Earth look like nothing.
There's a black hole in the center of our galaxy, I think.
I don't know. I know there's like, I've seen like this big. In 8th grade, there was this, my teacher, Miss Smith, had this poster, and it was showing like Earth, how small it is, and then it had like compared to the sun, and then it had compared to this star that was way bigger than the sun, and it had another star way bigger than that star, and then there was another star that was almost the size of that, and there was a star that was huge as fuck. I don't know what it's called though.
I think it's called gargantuan, to be honest.
It's called the Behemoth.
Or the Beetlejuice. There's one that's called Beetlejuice. That might be one.
That's the one that's like, I think, after the sun, because I just saw a picture of that. It's spelled differently from Beetlejuice.
The biggest one is VY Canis Majoris. Just looked it up.
Is it a giant blue? Is it a blue giant star or something like that?
No, it's just a red giant. Blue stars can't be big because they shoot out so much energy. That's what makes it blue.
I have a blue star in my book as the center of a solar system. All that energy. All that energy. Had to look it up though, because apparently
blue stars, they don't live long.
It has like
Sadly.
very, very hazardous like climate for the planets within the solar system. Extreme hot temperatures in certain areas and extremely cold temperatures in others. The medium temperatures aren't even that swell, but hey. But
You know what star that can eat all those stars?
to figure what you called it, there you go.
A what?
A neutron star.
Yep.
I think the only thing that can break apart a neutron star is a black hole.
Isn't that just a blue star?
It's like a tiny blue star.
It's really, really
But
small.
it's very strong. Very dense.
Oh yeah, that's after the supernovas. Forgot about that.
A teaspoon of neutron star will go to the center of the Earth.
I wonder what kind of energy Superman has if he can make a supernova. What's in him? Interesting.
Probably magic.
He hates magic though. So what's interesting about that?
I was memeing. I wasn't being serious.
Oh.
That's probably unexplainable because the authors didn't want to put an explanation in it.
They probably did explain it. I haven't read it though. Let's see. Let's look for that.
Is Superman still weak from kryptonite if he's in Superman Prime mode?
No, he overcomes it.
Oh, it's broken.
The red sun energy though can still do that. Lock him in a red sun room like Batman did.
Even at Superman Prime?
I don't think. I think it like debuffs it, but I don't know.
And debuff.
Superboy was the first.
To get into that situation.
Superboy was the first Superman Prime, or Prime, I guess, Kryptonian, and then Superman.
So why didn't the was Superman the first person to get on a spaceship?
Like after his,
Like to be sent away from what is it? Home?
it was him and Supergirl.
Krypton? He was the first person to leave Krypton ever?
I don't think so. Probably.
So
Well, yeah.
My logic is if they have, why are they living on Krypton? Because they're weak on Krypton.
That was what the whole little. Well, that was what was like their dispute for power was, like General Zod and Superman's father. That was where that was going, because like we don't have to be here. We can just go colonize the place, like, but everyone's happy where we are. Why do we have to leave? Or whatever. And then freaking Brainiac showed up. And then it all went to shit.
Who was for leaving the planet?
Huh?
Who was for leaving the planet?
General Zod.
Let's leave it. Yeah. I'm all for General Zod.
And then he found Superman. He thought Superman was gonna help him or work with him. Oh, we're Kryptonians, you know. Work together, man. But no. Superman was like, I mean, I kind of have a family, or have friends and family here, sort of. They welcomed me. I'm not gonna betray them. Like Goku. If Superman has lead on him, he can block the use of kryptonite. So if he has lead in his armor, then kryptonite is obsolete. Doesn't matter.
So if Batman made a lead armor, Superman, he's invincible.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why Batman never gave him that, because he's always trying to. He's like Superman's best friend, so he's always trying to make sure, like, hey, if you ever turn, I have something to stop you. I can't give you the means to prevent that.
I don't feel like playing Battlefield anymore. Something else.
Something new, something fresh. Something like Minecraft.
Did you already share it?
He does have magic, I see. Okay.